Hi, I'm Katerina. You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so we had an unbelievable weekend of boxing. And there's no doubt that out of all the fights that took place, Naoya Inoue, he had the best performance. But at the same time, he was not facing the best opposition. And usually when you're facing weaker opposition, it's easier to put on a showcase. I mean, for starters, you cannot compare Naoya Inoue's situation to a Devin Haney, who unfortunately trusted his opponent Ryan Garcia to come in and fight on an even playing field, but instead Ryan, he went out of his way to cheat as much as he could, intentionally not even trying to make the weight and then testing positive for PEDs. So after everything that Devin Haney has been through, it's not that much of a surprise after a 1-year layoff, he is not going to look his best, and he's not going to look like the confident fighter that he was before the Ryan Garcia fight. By looking at all of Devin Haney's previous performances against Regis Prograis, against Lomachenko, Jojo Diaz, and the list just goes on and on and on, we know that if the Ryan Garcia situation never took place, we would have seen the best performance from Devin Haney. Devin Haney has always stood in the center of the ring. He'll take his opponent's best shots, and he comes back with his own combinations. We knew already that there was a good chance that Devin Haney probably would not look like himself coming back after this whole Ryan Garcia scandal. And there's a very good chance that if Naoya Inoue was in Devin Haney's exact same situation, he probably would not look the same either after his year layoff. So you cannot compare Naoya Inoue's performance to Devin Haney's performance against Ramirez. But we can compare Naoya Inoue's performance to everyone else who fought this past weekend. And once again, Inoue, he did put on the best performance, regardless of who he was in the ring with. Now, at 122, there's not really too much competition for Naoya Inoue. He's going to fight against MJ, or at least he's most likely going to fight against MJ next. I lean towards Naoya Inoue to win that fight. I feel like MJ, he punches too wide, and that's going to give Naoya Inoue an edge in that fight. Outside of MJ, there is no one else at 122. It is a ghost town. The only way Naoya Inoue is going to really be challenged is at 126, because that's where the real dangerous champions are. Rafael Espinoza and Bruce Carrington, who's the top contender. There's a lot of dangerous fighters at 126. And Inoue, he just recently came out and he said he has no interest in moving to 126, not right now, which means he will be able to dominate the weak division of 122 for maybe a couple of years, depending on what new talent emerges in that weight class. Now, Bruce Carrington, he just came out and he reacted. He reacted to Naoya Inoue's performance against Cardenas. And I like the way he broke it down, because he said, here's the good news about Inoue and here's the bad news. So this is what he said.
Man, first and foremost, the good was the adjustment that was made. You know, after that knockdown in the second round, he was able to, show that I'm not going to get caught with the same shot again, because Cardenas, he was throwing those haymakers it was probably 2 centimeters away from connecting from time to time. And I feel like in those moments, it was showing listen, I'm disciplined, I'm a champion, I'm well experienced, I'm not going to fall for the same thing twice. But, listen, in boxing, sometimes it only takes one shot to put you up out of there. And this is where I'm going to get into the bad parts, where sometimes he opens up a little too much, maybe, to where that's where he was able to get caught, with this fight, with the Luis Neri fight. Even though Nito Donaire has his success in the first fight that they had, so in a way, he's shown that. And I've kind of been saying this in past interviews, to where it's certain things that I'm going to be able to expose when or if me and him ever fight. So, kind of playing a waiting game, because he says he's not really interested in moving up right now. He has other things that's kind of scheduled in his plans right before he decides to move up. So it's just, I'm focused on the featherweight champions right now.
Now, let me just start by saying this. I completely agree with SHU. You have to give Naoya Inoue credit for making the adjustments to that left hook. He did make sure he didn't get caught with that left hook again, but at the same time, we've seen a pattern of Naoya Inoue getting caught with the left hook, but not just the left hook. all punches, counter right hands, all the way from these fights against Neri, against Cardenas, going all the way back to the first fight against Naoya, which is another fight that SHU mentioned. If Naoya Inoue moves up to 126, he's going to have a lot of problems. That's where he's going to have real competition, and that's where he's going to be dealing with even more adversity. Now, even though we've already seen Naoya Inoue get knocked down multiple times by C or D level opponents, and we know that if it was Boots, Crawford, Shakur, Javante, or Devin Haney getting knocked down multiple times by left hooks, the internet would explode with backlash. But I'm not going to say the things that race fans would say about Naoya Inoue if he was black. I don't believe that Naoya Inoue is chinny. Now, he is a flawed fighter, but at the same time, his offense is his defense. So to get to him, you're going to have to walk through a whole lot of fire to really expose him, because he does have power. He does have a high boxing IQ. He has good foot movement, great combinations, and he's a good body puncher. So while Inoue does have flaws, it's still going to take a very special fighter to beat him. Which is why I really want to see him move up to 126, because that's where, once again, we're going to see him in real fights. Rafael Espinoza would be tremendous adversity for Naoya Inoue when it comes to his height, his aggression, and once again, a new weight class. And then, of course, you have Bruce Carrington, a slick American fighter who, unlike Stephen Fulton, he can fight on the inside and the outside, but at a higher weight class. And he has speed. The one thing that Stephen Fulton did not have, he did not have speed. Fulton has the speed. Now, I'm not saying that Fulton is faster than Naoya Inoue, because Naoya Inoue, he has tremendous speed. In fact, Naoya Inoue, he reminds me a lot of Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao was a very flawed fighter defensively, but his offense made up for his defense. And that is Naoya Inoue. So while I do look forward to the MJ fight, I'm really hoping that maybe in the next year, especially when you consider the fact that Inoue is still young, he does move up to 126, because he's still growing, by the way. I mean, he moved up to 122 because he could no longer make the weight at 118. And hopefully that happens when it comes to him moving up to 126. We'll see how it all plays out. With that being said, that's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.